Yasuhiko Genku Kimura, thank you so much for coming with us here to talk about a very interesting subject. Recently, you have gifted us with your wisdom talking about stress, anxiety, and depression. And today, we are going to talk about how people can find a way to build alignment beyond agreement. We are getting close to Christmas time, and we are in a time where disagreement, fake news, and the lack of inaccurate communication seem to be predominant in our world. So, thank you so much for accepting our invitation. And I'm excited to hear you about this great subject.
Okay, thank you for your invitation again. Let's see. So alignment beyond agreement. Um, so let's start from the definition. Yes, alignment is a congruence of intentions, and agreement is a congruence of opinions or beliefs, ideologies, theories, and hypotheses or strategies. And I became aware of this when I was studying American founding documents, Constitution, Federalist Papers, and I realized that the founding fathers and framers of this country, United States, they vigorously disagreed in terms of ideas. Alexander Hamilton and James Madison are two major authors of the Federalist Paper. They were in agreement when they were writing that paper. But later on, they disagreed. And then when they were writing those papers, there are a group of people who are called anti-federalist, who are against the federalism. So there was tremendously vigorous and rigorous disagreement and argumentation going on at the beginning of this country. And yet, they are all aligned in creating a new nation of liberty, freedom, and human rights. So there are fundamental alignment in the creating a future for them. So intention is a future creating thought. And it is a specified will through thinking. When intentions are crystallized, they become intent. So when thinking is crystallized, it becomes a thought. When intention is crystallized, it becomes an intent, focused intent. So founding fathers vigorously disagreed and argued with one another. But their intentions are articulated and they were aligned and their intents were fulfilled along the line.
And by intent, we can understand the same purpose, right?
Yes, purpose. Yes, you can say that. You know, Nietzsche left lots of notes unfinished. And later it was, they were compiled into a book called The Will to Power. And most people misunderstand what he meant by will to power. It is an evolutionary impulse, a fundamental evolutionary will to evolve more and to achieve a greater and greater freedom and higher level of consciousness. That is what will to power actually mean. But then people misunderstand or misinterpret or misappropriate this will to power into different directions. So intentions. So will to power in the most fundamental sense is to will to evolve, will to achieve greater freedom, will to achieve a higher state of consciousness. That will to power. And when it is articulated within you, when you begin to live your life in accordance with that articulated will to power, it becomes an intention and intent. But then people misunderstand, misinterpret this innate will to power into different ways. Some people want to have a power over other people. Yes. Then their intention becomes to have a power over other people. So one of the fundamental problems, maybe the most critical problem that we have. So when we talk about alignment beyond agreement, conceptually it is very simple. Okay, alignment is a congruence of intention, and intention becomes an intent through a discussion and communication, and opinions are different, and we can actually harness the disagreement into making the diversity of ideas into a dynamic, evolutionary force. I call it ideodiversity, helping the evolution of people and society. Just like biodiversity in Amazon rainforest help the whole, ideodiversity of people aligned in the same intention can help the achievement of that intention. Problem is this: people do not know what their intentions are.
Right.
So before we align in our intentions, we each need to know honestly what is our intention. People say, I am for liberty and freedom. But when you really start to engage them into their conversation, you realize that that is not really their intention. Most people prefer safety over freedom. They are willing to give up their freedom for safety. And they become enslaved by the system that promised to provide the safety that they are seeking. So nothing wrong with wanting to have safety. But if that is your number one intention, do not lie about it, and don't come to a group who are aligned, that is aligned, the group that is aligned in the intention to achieve greater freedom. So, and the people don't know their intentions, really don't. They think they do, but they don't. So, when I do the alignment beyond agreement workshops for corporations, we really go into people's interior to discover what it is that they are actually intending. So, and then people whose intention is not aligned with a company's intention, for example, then they don't belong there. Yes. And you may have noticed that human beings are mimetic beings. We imitate.
Mhm.
And we imitate everything. Humans are much better at imitating than monkeys. And monkeys are much better than crocodiles. So our intelligence is used in imitating. That imitation actually extends to desires and intentions and emotions. Everything that we have is programmed. And it is a learned behavior. And people are actually internally confused and divided. So on the one hand, you want to have freedom, but on the other hand, you want to have a safety, and they don't see any way to actually, harmonize them.
Mhm.
So people are internally divided in terms of their intentions and desires, and that division shows up in society.
Right.
Yes. So in order to create a culture or project of alignment, first step is for people to honestly realize what their true intentions are.
And to find the true intentions, they must consider and be honest about the needs, the values, and the wishes.
Mm-hmm. And then secondly, whether that intention is imitated, just because other people have the same intentions, that you are just adjusting to their intentions and take it to be your intention.
Mhm.
So it takes inner work to be able to identify
Mhm.
your true intention.
Mhm.
So society is misaligned because people are not aligned in the intentions, obviously, but because they are not aligned within themselves.
Yeah.
Yes, so it is number one issue. So alignment is a congruence of intention.
Mhm.
And there are intentions that are mimetic, inauthentic, and there are intentions that are authentic, original, in integrity with who you are.